Oh yeah! What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. We have quite the adventure planned for us today. We're going to be taking a trek, a day-long trek down a beautiful spring-fed North Florida river. And it's going to be awesome. Hopefully we're going to find some cool fossils along the way. We're going to be stopping, it's more of a scouting mission, but we're going to stop at any bend that we come to that looks like it could be good, and we're going to put on scuba gear, get down there and see what we can find. I think in the long run it's going to be fun when we get done, and hopefully we'll find some cool stuff while we're out there. I'm just hoping we get back before dark. All right, we're all suited up. I got the scuba gear. Unfortunately, Dakota doesn't have any, womp womp, but he fit into the wetsuit. Miraculously, somehow he managed to squeeze into that thing.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to happen.
It's only about probably 60-something degrees right now, so it might be up to 70 by now. It's pretty cool. So that water is going to be a little chilly, but hopefully it won't be too bad and we'll find some good stuff. So we just found our first reasonable spot of the day, and we're finding a few shell fossils over there in that bend, but it's not quite as deep of a bend as we were hoping. So we're going to keep moving, and hopefully soon we'll come across a really good limestone exposure where there'll be shark teeth. Just found some cool stuff. Dakota's coming over here to see. It kind of sucks though. You'll see why. Dugong, you know, a few whale and dugong things. Then I found this, which is a little, take that, that's a little tiny busted meg.
Oh, yep.
And then I found this, which is like identically broken, but it was a huge meg.
Gosh.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Wow,
that would have been a big
massive one.
Yeah, look at how thick the root is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What'd you get?
Nothing that cool. I just
dugong
found some,
stuff?
Yeah, just some bones. This is dugong, and then found this one.
Okay.
And then this one.
Yeah. I got excited when I started seeing the dugong stuff. I was like, yes,
yeah.
I think it might be meg.
Found cases.
Yeah. I searched the area pretty good, though. I think we should just keep moving.
That sounds good to me.
Just found a little spring right here, and the crazy thing is, usually the springs feel cold, but today the water temperature in the creek is colder than the spring, the groundwater, so this spring feels warm. Oh, that feels good. The groundwater here in Florida is actually between 65 and 70 degrees year-round. So, if you're out here in the fall or wintertime, it can actually be warmer than the creek water. These dugong rib bones and whale rib bones, here's a whale too. These are a good sign because the megalodon sharks, whose teeth we're looking for, fed on these. So, where you find these, usually you have a good chance to find a megalodon tooth. Yep. What you got? That's a nice, I like that piece.
Yeah.
A chunk. It's a nice looking rib bone. So one of the things that we look for when we're trying to find spots to find megalodon teeth are these shells, because these may look like ordinary seashells, but they're actually fossilized seashells from around 3.7 to 20 million years ago during the Miocene epoch, when Florida was, for the most part, actually the entirety of Florida was underwater. It was a warm shallow sea. So when you have shells like this and you start seeing the dugong and whale bones, you know that you're in the right kind of area to start finding shark's teeth. This is pretty interesting. This is actually a sand dollar that's fossilized, of course, stuck in limestone. It looks almost like it got squashed by something heavy. Just completely busted up, but stuck in that limestone. A lot of good shells down there. We're making good time. I think we'll make it out of here before dark. Thank goodness. Oh, cool. Oh, that's neat. It's almost see-through. I like the little dainty ones.
Yeah.
That looks like something you'd find on the beach. You'd never know that was upwards of 20 million years old. Wow. Oh, that's cool. Wow, wow, wow.
Not too shabby. And then there's that. And then that's my chunk of rib.
Dugongosaurus.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. That was just sitting on the bottom?
Yeah, look, it's still got matrix on it.
Was it in the limestone?
It was just sitting right on top. I just grabbed some gravel with it too.
Was it on the gravel though, or the stone itself?
On the gravel, yeah.
Gravel?
Dude. Right along where I'm standing, just
that's
sitting
a
right
cute
on
little
top.
Meg.
Yeah, it's like a pinkish
It's
golden red.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh,
wow,
dude.
That is awesome. Look at how shiny it is. Dude. So this right here is pretty cool. That's what I believe to be a dolphin rib section, which isn't quite as common as stuff like this whalebone here and the dugong ribs like this one right here I'm about to pick up. This next find here is pretty interesting. This is a whale ear bone, and you can see by the way it's curved and it looks kind of like an ear. And you'll get a better look at that later, but that's my second one I found in the past 2 weeks. Pretty cool. So you couldn't really tell what happened right there, but I jumped up to show Dakota that little busted Meg that I pulled out of the gravel, and neither of us knew it, but the next few minutes would end up being the craziest fossil hunting experience either one of us has ever had, and it starts with this Meg right here. I'll just be quiet so you guys can enjoy this as it happens. Dakota was super excited to show me all the whale and dugong bones he had, and then I showed him my handful of megs, and we both lost it. Dakota, do you see what I just showed you? Yeah!
I looked there before I went over there.
There's gotta be more. Look.
I've just
you got one too?
Oh, the other side's really shit, but
dude. I mean, these are all kind of beat up, but
dude, who cares? That's incredible.
Have more coming out?
Look at these bones.
Oh, that's a huge whale, man. Me and Dakota just found a jackpot right here with this little unassuming bend in the creek. I found all these right here in one area, like all sitting next to each other. That is crazy. I got on video too, me finding them.
Yeah.
On my GoPro. I think I gotta
awesome.
delete some stuff though because it stopped recording.
This one's blade is green, the enamel.
Yeah. So these are all meg teeth. This is a whale tooth. It's really beat up, but that's pretty cool. And over here, oh yeah, look at that one. Dude, I still can't believe this.
Nice.
And then we gotta show them what you found. So besides all that, we have all these dugong and whale bones.
Which we're not keeping all of.
Right. Yeah, and Dakota's also found some meg teeth. There's a broken one. And he's found a couple whole ones too, right here.
My other ones.
These are what he's got so far. Wow, wow, wow. I gotta take a picture of that. This is crazy. We got the teeth, and we got what they were feeding on. Which is pretty incredible. Look at this. I was just holding a big chunk of bone. There's so much of it. We can't keep all this dugong bone.
No.
So like I said earlier, looking for meg teeth, you want to see dugong ribs like this, which are an ancient sea cow, still around, but not the same species that we're finding here. These guys are ancient. The species is about 20 million years old, and that's a big whale bone in my hand there. And we were just pulling dozens and dozens of these things out of the sand. It was ridiculous. So we knew at that point we were definitely on a feeding ground where these sharks have been eating them. Catch and release. Dugong, more like dugone. Be free.
That feels crazy to do that.
I know. There's so many hundreds upon hundreds of dugong and whale bones in this bend right here that, I mean, you'll see on the GoPro footage. I was just throwing them to the side while I was fanning. There's just no way we would keep all of them. So it would weigh our boat down. Mm-hmm. It would be crazy.
We wouldn't have room for anything.
No. But it's time to push onward. It's about 3 o'clock and we got ground to cover before we get back to the next landing. Alrighty guys, this is the last spot of the day and we both had a long day. It's been fun though, a ton of fun. But it's about almost 4 o'clock now and there's fish biting my toes. But right here is a beautiful bluff, and last time we came to this spot I found a whale rib and a whale ear bone and a few neat shell fossils. I can throw some pictures up on the screen right now. But yeah, I'm going down there with scuba gear this time because last time I was freediving, and hopefully I can do a little better with scuba because this is one of the deeper spots on the creek. So fingers crossed we find something good here to end out the day. It's been a great one, guys. Let's get it. This bend wasn't quite as good as I'd hoped, but it was a lot of fun to polish off the last of my air. Just fanning and looking around on the bottom here. Dakota actually ended up finding his first ever Histalis tooth. There's a nice fossil oyster. And there's another clam. Another clam here. This guy's huge. Actually ended up keeping that. As I was making my way along the bottom, I noticed this strange pattern in the limestone. So I started to check it out because I couldn't quite tell what I was looking at. For a second here, I thought I was uncovering possibly a big whale rib still stuck in the matrix. I kept fanning and looking at it, and really didn't know what I was looking at until I grabbed a little piece of it there and it broke off. and kind of just disintegrated in my hand. And what that kind of told me is that what I was looking at is something that's decomposed. I think it's some sort of root that's grown through here. I don't know how long ago that happened, but if you guys know what I was looking at there, please let me know in the comments. Alright, our last spot of the day didn't have anything crazy. Some shell fossils. Oh, right. Dakota's first Hystalis tooth, which we'll show you later when we put all the teeth out and show you what we got all spread out. But for now, we're walking back. We finally made it to the spring, or to the spring run where we left Dakota's car. We did pretty dang good today. Pretty good?
Man, I don't know if we're gonna top it anytime soon, to be honest. That's crazy. Today's been amazing.
It'll be pretty hard to top. Alright, so here's our bounty for the day. Well, some of it. We found a bunch of random bones from dugongs and whales, but these are the prize finds of the day. Check out all of these megs. And then at the end there, Dakota found his first ever Hystalis. And a lot of people call these makos, but this is not in fact a type of mako shark. These are the ancestor to the great white. So this is a lower tooth, so it'd be on the bottom jaw. That's why it's a little narrower. The ones on the upper jaw are more blade-like. But today was my first day finding a mostly whole meg, and even though none of mine are completely whole, they're all kind of beaters. They definitely are. I mean, some of these look pretty decent from the other side, but I'm happy with it. That's probably the best looking one, honestly, considering all things considered, even though it's missing part of the root. But yeah, this is my biggest one, I believe, yeah. And I found a chunk of one that would have been quite a bit bigger than these, but it was broken, so unfortunately we don't get to see that. This is the prettiest one of the day by far. This is Dakota's little juvenile meg tooth, and it's like rose gold on the enamel. Still got the matrix on it too. And then I found another whale ear bone. It's a smaller species than the big one that I actually didn't video, but that was pretty cool. It's really worn. And then this is a whale tooth, which is something I really wanted to find today. Pretty beat up, but you can see this big part here is the root, and this little piece here that you can see, the pointy bit on the end, is what's left of the enamel, but it's pretty banged up, so the enamel's mostly gone. Either way, really cool find. I think we did fantastic today, all things considered. Couldn't be happier. I mean, all these teeth were found in quick succession, like right next to each other. Same with Dakota's, I think, for the most part. Plus tons of big whale bones, which is always cool. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, that was a good last day for sure.
Yeah, it really couldn't have gone much better. Really glad that we found that location with all the meg teeth by ourselves, because no one gave us directions or anything. No one told us what section of the river to look in. We just went out there and found it, so that was the awesome part. Our scouting paid off. Oh yeah, here's a giant chunk of whale bone. I'm not sure what part of the whale that is, but that's massive. Insane. And that's what these things were feeding on. They were just tearing them up. The places where we were finding the meg teeth right next to each other was covered in dugong and whale bones, just piles and piles of them. Definitely a feeding ground where we were looking. So really cool. I can't wait to get back out here and do this again.